You mentioned that you tried all these meds and everything. What has happened with your diabetes a year from since you started this program?
I don't have it.
What do you
Plain and
mean?
simple. I
People
mean,
are like, explain.
I have been really excited every time I get a real turd. Like, hey, everybody, come look at this. No. I'm just-
Hey everybody. Today we're going to be talking about all about hormones and autoimmunity. But I want to introduce a series that we're starting, and it's called Real Autoimmune and Real Hormone Transformations. So you guys have heard from multiple trainings I've already done that I've created a beautiful guide. In fact, a whole workbook on what are the checklists for hormone symptoms and also what are some of the natural ways to start turning around your hormones naturally. If you want the guide, what you want to do is go ahead and check above or below this video, and there's a link to chat our team. Just ask for our hormone balancing guide. That'll be great, right? Go ahead and do that. If you want help in turning around your autoimmune or hormone issues, please go into the comment section below and give us some detail about what hormonal struggles you have and what autoimmune struggles you have, and our team will respond to you in a couple of hours. Check your message requests, and we'll be responding with some resources to get you started to get help. Today, what I want to do is introduce a series we're doing, and it's all about real autoimmune change and real hormonal balance. How are they related? We've already done trainings on what are the symptoms. We've done trainings on what are some supplements that can be helpful, herbs that are helpful in balancing hormones. But people want to know, well, how does balancing my hormones actually impact on my autoimmune disease? And does it impact on this autoimmune disease, that autoimmune disease, or no symptoms of autoimmune or no diagnosis of autoimmune? Can it help me? I want to answer that question by presenting this series, which is a series of real people, real autoimmune issues, real hormonal health, and real balancing of those hormones with what their real results really are. So truly, true hormone and autoimmune transformations. We're going to be premiering different videos with different real people and their autoimmune issues. And we're going to show how their story is and what their experience has been and what their outcomes are to actually show you that, yes, this stuff really works. Hormones and autoimmune's really linked, and it can work for any diagnosis or no diagnosis whatsoever. So welcome to our series on real transformations and real hormone balance in autoimmunity. So here we go. And I hope you enjoy this video today. I'm Maggie Yu, MD. I'm a functional and holistic medicine physician, and I am the owner and creator of the Transform Protocol for transforming your autoimmune disease naturally and your hormones naturally. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group, make sure you click the link above or below this video and join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. We are at 43,000 at the time of this recording of active members in our Facebook group. Join the community, tons of bonus resources in there. If you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, make sure you give us a thumbs up, give us a follow, give us a like. That'll be really awesome. And if you would like to work with us, make sure you check out our 5 pillars training to understand what the Transform Protocol is. By checking out our website, drmaggieyu.com. You can check out our 5 pillars training to understand what is the underlying root causes triggering autoimmune issues and hormone imbalances. Today, we have an interview with Nikki, who's been struggling with 20 plus years of symptoms relating to PCOS, celiac, and Hashimoto's. When you look at Nikki, she's had symptoms such as extreme fatigue to the point where she couldn't get out of bed, a lot of anxiety and depression, a lot of self-depreciating thoughts. And along with that, a lot of hair growth on her chin and a lot of hair loss on her head and a lot of weight struggles and period difficulties. And she was also diagnosed with diabetes on top of that, on tons of medication for her diabetes. How does she end this in just 2 months? And where is she a year later? Just you wait. Hey, Nikki, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Hi, I am Nikki Yu. I'm from Ohio. I work in accounting, and I had diagnosis of Hashimoto's and PCOS, and I had done my own little testing and saw some celiac antibodies. So I believe that was in there, but never a formal diagnosis for that.
Well, Nikki, I mean, it's been has it been almost a year since you started this program?
Yes, my time hop was me holding the water bottle for the water challenge.
Oh my gosh, I remember. And you even had grumpy cat memes back then, right?
Yeah.
She was part of our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. And we ran a water challenge last year, right around this time, 10-day water challenge. And that's where we met.
It is.
And I fell in love with your cat memes. I have some questions. What were some of your top Give me a list of some of your symptoms you've been struggling with.
Sure. So I was losing hair. Well, I think the hair was dropping from here and it was growing here.
Yeah, you had some funny
So
memes about that too.
yeah. Yes. And then anxiety, depression, that sort of thing. A lot of negative self-talk, and that just you get in a hamster wheel. So that's lifted. I mean, I can't say that I don't say some things, but just the process is a lot better. There's no more medicine for it, which is awesome.
Well, we'll get to some results, but what you're telling me is that, and how many years would you say you had been experiencing the hair issues, the fatigue, the mood issues, weight? How many years or decades do you think you've had those symptoms?
About 20.
20 years is the typical amount of time that people have had symptoms when they actually make a call and want to work with us. And a lot of times they're like, oh, I was just diagnosed 3 years ago with Hashimoto's. But when you actually, now that you connect the PCOS, the hair, the mood, the weight, the fatigue, insomnia, all the stuff, 20 plus years. So this is where I tell people a diagnosis doesn't even matter. Like a lot of people wait till they get a diagnosis before they start addressing it. And it's 20 years of hell before that,
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. You are now, a year out from the program. What would you say have been your results?
Well, my blood sugar's back to normal. I'm no longer on metformin.
So you were pre-diabetic or diabetic?
And I had gestational diabetes. So that's all back in a good range. And then no more birth control for the cysts.
So you
That's
birth control pill for years.
Yes. And I don't even know what kind of things that was causing, to progress the PCOS and autoimmune, because it was just a Band-Aid, really. No more antidepressants. So that was good. And I was really scared to come off of those, but I actually stopped taking those during the program.
I know you did.
The 8 weeks. Yeah, and I was fine. All good.
Nikki, you hid being depressed or anxious really well.
I think most people do.
And and that's through laughter, funny memes, and you have an incredible sense of humor. But 20 years of dealing with that is no joke.
Yeah, it was bad after the birth of my daughter.
And now you know why, right?
Yeah.
Why? Okay, because I teach about this. Yes. What is it about the birth of the daughter now that's significant to you with this link with everything else?
That's when our hormones are sensitive and changing. So that's it. Yep. It just flares everything up.
Nikki, the main state of treating PCOS, anxiety, and depression is birth control pills and antidepressants. So did that work for you?
It did for probably. Well, I didn't take antidepressants until after my daughter was born, but the birth control worked. I started having the issues when I first started getting my period. So the birth
what did
control
they work helped. To do? They helped with what?
It helped with having a normal period, just having one every 28 Correct. Days.
So birth control pills did normalize periods, but did they help with any of the other symptoms?
Not that I know of. They put me on a birth control and metformin at that time.
Did not help your blood sugars, did not help with the hair growth, did not help with the fatigue, did not help the depression or anxiety. You got normal periods though, right?
I lost some weight back then too, but it came back. Eventually I just got used to it. So
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Having struggled with those symptoms for 20 years, what made you decide to actually join the program?
I just didn't want to give up on myself. It just seemed like I've tried every regular doctor out and everything. They just, they tried Victoza, they tried this, they tried that. And it just, everything was making me worse. So I wanted to try something functional. You've got really good reviews.
I got really good reviews. Yes, you're right. It's because of people like you actually sharing the results. So, but you mentioned like being a diabetic. and being on multiple meds that they tried, and also having a lot of mood issues and hair issues. And a lot of people would argue that you can't reverse diabetes. Okay.
Yeah, that's not
Okay.
true.
Okay. You tell them, because they don't believe me. What's your experience? I mean, you mentioned that you tried all these meds and everything. What has happened with your diabetes a year since you started this program?
I don't have it.
What do you
Plain and
mean?
simple. I mean,
People are like,
you know,
explain.
well, I mean, your program's pretty simple, right? You teach us how to master our blood sugar,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of shitty thinking up here, like I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But it's really pretty simple. And if I work on my thoughts around those things and start to really, just push up my sleeves and do it,
Mhm.
it works.
Well, I think what you're saying is about the mindset piece of our program, which is that it's changing your thought patterns can actually really impact upon your ability to implement and do and create change and do change.
It's huge.
That being said, though, to me, being a medical doctor, your data was so important here. And the education that you received was really big. Like it's like someone's got to teach you what the skills are here's how you think differently. Here's why, here's how, and then here's how you practice. And then here are the results. To me, that's the loop you can get into. Then that will feed more to do more and more and more. So for me, a big part of that is your own data. So I had a question for you. I mean, you went and saw a whole bunch of doctors before me, and they were supposed to help, and you had a whole bunch of data before me. What part of our program and the data or the training we provided was really crucial for you?
Gosh, it all kind of ran together. I was surprised that I was getting low blood sugar.
Yeah, because you always thought diabetes is high blood sugar.
Yeah. And I'm sure that the metformin was causing that. That
And
part too.
Autoimmunity triggers low blood sugar too, just as much as high. So the problem isn't just high, it's low, and it's high, low, high, low. That's the problem. People don't realize that. So we got to stabilize the blood sugar, not just prevent high blood sugar.
Right. And then the hormone balancing, that's still a work in progress. That's very slow, but it's, just small steps every day, keeping the water going.
Is it really that slow? Because you've been off birth control pills for how long?
Since August. Yeah. Since August of, about a year.
How are your periods?
They're 28 days.
Without the birth control pill.
I have no cysts. I haven't had any cysts.
No cysts. How in God's name is this slow after 20 years of this shit? I know you had some results at the beginning at the end of 2 months, but what do you think were the biggest shockers over the last 10 months? What continued to get better and better and better for you?
It really has just been my monthly cycle. My hair is sprouted.
Baby hairs.
Yeah, all over. The hair sprouted. My skin is good.
You used to have a lot more acne, girl.
Yeah, my skin is normal.
Wow. The results are so slow. Look at your skin. Congratulations. What was your favorite part about working with me?
Well, you're really smart.
True.
You are, you get to the point and you have a really good disposition about yourself. I don't know if is that the right word? Yeah. You're sure.
I have a high degree of certainty, and I do love what I do, and I love working with people. So and you mentioned that even when you go back and rewatch some of those recordings, which, you have all those recordings, you could have 5 people with actually the exact same hormone results, but there's pieces in their history and their own personal data or in their food data that really impacts upon the advice that we actually give. Yeah.
For me, I have PCOS, and you don't recommend DHEA, but my hormones were actually like really sensitive to testosterone, not that I have high testosterone. So, that was a little bit different.
Why did you almost not join the program?
Fear, just the same thoughts, the thoughts that it won't work.
Oh, it won't work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to ask you a question. Did you see a bunch of interviews just like this from people where it did work?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always am curious about this. When you actually see a ton of videos, let's say you've seen 10 videos, which is not, this is commonly the amount of people in our group that let's say you've seen 10 videos of people with Hashimoto's, PCOS, very same situation with incredible turnarounds. I guess I want to ask, what is it about seeing those 10 and still feeling like, but will it work for me? Like why ask that question? Why is there such a disbelief that it could work for you? I'm curious.
Well, because, if I've been to 10 doctors and I've
Right.
tried all these things and they haven't worked, well, then maybe I'm broken. Maybe I just am not fixable. All that negative self-talk.
Beliefs.
Right.
So it's
Right.
really not about the program or other people's results or whether it works or not. You know it works, but the fact is there's a part of you that thinks that nothing will work for me.
Right.
What is something that you can do now effortlessly that a year ago you would have really struggled doing? Really?
At 6:30 in the morning, ready to go.
What made it that hard before?
I just felt so tired, very
Fatigue.
tired and very sad every morning. So
Depression will do that.
mhm.
Nikki, I totally remember there was probably a good 2 years of my life in the middle of all this where I woke up every morning and I said, what else is going to go wrong today?
Yeah, it was just easier to stay there.
What would you say to the person who's watching this right now, who's been suffering with symptoms of like fatigue, hair loss, weight gain, gut problems, acne, irritability, depression, brain fog, anxiety, pain? Okay. And they're watching this right now, even though those have really improved for you and they've been sustainable and they've continued to get better and better over the last year. They're sitting here like, I'm broken and nothing will work for me. Everything she talked about, I already tried. What would you say to that person?
I say try it, and you don't have to believe in yourself on the first day. Your group is going to help you believe it for you.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe in yourself the very first day, but if you take that chance on yourself, you can turn that around, and you can believe, and you can make those steps to turn your autoimmunity around. And that's a prize.
That's a huge prize. It's not just a prize of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's about getting your life back.
Yeah.
I mean, if I didn't do this for me, I'd be dead right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I get to go outside and play with my daughter, and I can lift her up again. She's pretty heavy. She's only getting heavier, man. She's 5.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching that interview with Nikki. What really struck me about her was the recognition of how important changing her patterns of thinking really was and how instrumental that was in combination with the data and the community support that she received that manifested these results. If you would like to work with us, go ahead and click the link above or below this video to book a chat with our team. We'd love to be able to have a chat with you to learn more about what's going on with your hormonal or autoimmune issues to see if and how we can help. Just go ahead and click the link and check that out. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, make sure you join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. And I will see you in the group. Bye, everybody.